say come along, little children, come along, while the moon is shining, while the moon is shining. Yeah, on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Tell it, Sam.
Well, and go brother, St. Paddy's Day.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
To an Irishman who drove snakes away.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, he pulled them all down to the sea.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
I'll tilt one back and then for me.
Raise a ruckus tonight. We're gonna come along, little children, come along, while the moon is shining, while the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Oh. We say come along, little children, come along, while the moon is shining, while the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Tell it again, Sam.
Well, I caught a leprechaun by the heel.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, he started to squall and he said, I'll make a deal.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Said, I'll go see the Donald and I'll be right back.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
I'll bring the keys to the Goldman.
Ruckus tonight. We're gonna come along, little children, come along, while the moon is shining, while the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight.
Yes, sir. Hey, our house band is 1937 flood, ladies and gentlemen. We have come out of our holes after a few months of winter hibernation and ready to rock and ruckus again.
We are putting this Facebook Live, so thank you if you're watching on Facebook right now. And we will keep it archived at Route60SaturdayNight.com. So we've got tons of ways for you to enjoy the show time and time again.
Yes, and we'd like to thank N Callicoat here who puts it all together. He does so much work. It's just one tremendous fellow. We'd like to thank all the players, the hosts here, our guests tonight, especially you, the audience here, and then all you good folks that are out there on Facebook Live. We're going to rock the house with you tonight. But right now, let's continue our St. Patrick's Day show of faith and be going to make lads with the 1937 blood.
Well, since it is St. Patrick's Day, you can't go very far without having a good sing-along from some pub somewhere. This is one of the best sing-along songs in the whole St. Patrick's Day. They go, well, no, nay, never, the wild rover, no, never, no more. Try that. Well, it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Well, I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I've spent all the money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Play it, dog. Well, I went to an alehouse I frequently friend, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay, saying custom like yours I could have any day. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Then out of me pocket free goats ever bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wine of the best. Those words that I told you were only in jest, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Play it, Paul. Last chance. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Aaron Gebra.
So just like Charlie said, stereotypically that one, The Wild Rover, is known as the most widely performed Irish drinking song. Now, we've got the next song in honor of something that doesn't happen very often. The next time it happens is 2 weeks from tonight. And then after that, it won't be until October 2020. It only happens once in a blue moon. Therefore, we're going to do a little blue moon. You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Oh, whoa, blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. Now I'm no longer alone, yeah, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Get it, good. Suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me, and when I looked, that moon it turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, yeah, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Michelle Lewis, your hostess. Become hostess.
How about him right here? We've got
Paul Martin.
Paul, Sam, Randy, Michelle, Doug, and Charlie, the 1937 Flood. We're getting towards 65, folks. You blank out every once in a while.
That's okay, but it's going to be a great show tonight. We've got a wonderful act that's coming up just now. We want to introduce you to the Shadowshaker Band.
They are coming up here right now. They came together back in December 2014 when Eve Markham Atkinson and Michael Lysinga began getting together, intertwining their gravelly voices and cranking out a steady flow of original blues rock tunes.
I understand in their first year, the duo churned out 50 original songs, thanks in part to the prolific mind of Mike Lysinga. And he just bounced back with vigor following a major surgery that took him off the scene for months.
Big Mike, I love him. Their third CD, Heart on the Line, features 13 new songs and comes on the heels of You Don't Bother Me, an original album that the Huntington Blues Society sent to the Memphis International Blues Challenge for its original CD contest.
And what a pleasure it is for me, what a treat to ask you to join me in welcoming the Shadowshaker Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have the flood backing us up.
Literally.
Literally. They're not going to play, I don't think, because they don't know the songs, but they are backing us up. This first one's called Me and You.
I'll be running, running straight to you, and you'll be waiting the way you always do. And when there's thunder, thunder in the night, I will hold you, I will hold you tight. Everything I say and everything I do is for me and you. And when the world comes crashing down around your soul, I'll be there to pick you up and never let you go. And I'll make sure our love is what you choose. Me and you, me and you. And you'll be laughing right out loud. And I will find you somewhere in the cloud. And you will look me in the eyes and know just what to do. Hold on tight to me and you, me and you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
I didn't hear anybody back here picking now.
No.
Oh no, you guys are so good.
This one's in E.
Thank you.
I wrote this one in September of 2015, so we're reaching back here.
When you kiss me, baby, when you your kisses are like lightning, and your touch is pure gold. Oh, a love like our sweet darling never will grow old. I am the dreamer, and you are the dream. In my mind, you'll always be the one. When I hold you in my arms and look into your eyes, it's like staring straight into the sun. Oh, staring straight into the sun. I know you'll always be the one. You and I collide into the sun.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul.
Well, let's get a little interview action going on. We'll get them back for a few more songs, but let's find out a little more about what makes this group tick. My gosh. So you joined forces in 2014. I'll come on over here.
Come on over
yeah, yeah. And Randy Yohe's going to join me too here. We're going to so 2014, and you met and you started harmonizing. You guys got a great sound together.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. So what made you say, hey, let's try something?
Well,
I'll let her tell the story.
we met at a Huntington Blues Society thing, and I came out and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. They do this every month. So I started coming out, and I met Mike there, and I had done a little bit of recording on my own, just, some covers so that people could hear what I was doing. And Mike was like, whoa, you should totally come to my recording studio and we should do some stuff. And so we came out, and like that first time we started working on music together, it was like he read my brain. Like we
Kind
did
of on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. Like he had a song and I read his brain on how to sing it, and then I brought him a song and he was like, "You mean like this?" Because I'm a singer, but I'm a slacker, and that means I don't practice. I have a guitar. I have no excuse, but I don't practice. So I could not communicate in guitar language the chords I was thinking. He just picked up a guitar and went, digga, 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 and that was the exact thing I was thinking of, and it was amazing. And from then on out, it was like we were speaking the same language, and we just started making song after song.
I know that you might read each other's brains, but you also can feel the hearts of the community as well. And I know, Mike, you guys you've done some ALS work, you've done a lot of charity work. Why is that important for you?
We just love giving back. It's not ours to keep, We just like to give to good causes like tonight. The Contact, that's a great cause, and we're very happy to be here and proud to support Route 60 Music in this endeavor. It's awesome.
And if there was somebody that you guys could play with, if you had your druthers and we'll give you a wish right here, who would it be and why?
I don't have a dream band to play with. We enjoy playing so much that it just brings us so much joy. It doesn't matter who, We're excited to play here at Route 60, and we're excited to play at Sustainability Fair and for Contact and for other fundraisers and for the Blues Society. We just enjoy music.
James Taylor, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Bob Seger, Paul Callicoat. He's my favorite guy to play with.
Heck yeah.
See, Paul and I started playing together 50 years ago when I first moved
What was
to
it,
West
the Blue
Virginia.
Mist?
The Blue Mist, 50 years ago.
50
We
years
had
ago.
a I moved up to Garden Farms, and he lived across the street from me.
You were like 3 years old then, right?
I was 8. No, 10. I was 10. Paul was 40 back then. The Blue Mist, we did Beatles, we did Monkeys, we were cool, man.
Lisa, how old were you remembering when you going back when you started to sing and started really feeling like you could be in front of a crowd?
That was 2012. That last part was a delineation factor right there. I could not get in front of a crowd until I actually worked through some lifelong insecurities, and then finally
Well done. Yeah. Well, let's hear a few more tunes from the Shadowshaker Band, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome them back.
If you see a shadow lurking somewhere in the night, hiding from the darkness, hiding from the light, if you feel a cold chill running down your spine, hold on to tomorrow, for there you'll find the power of your wisdom, the answer to your prayer, the sunlight of a new day will let you know it cares. You know your life matters. There's someone who loves you. Your life is worth living if you do. Everyone has motives to justify their acts, and never let those liars define the simple fact that you are worth the breath you take, the reason you survive, and knowing that the ones you love are glad you're alive. The power of his wisdom, the answer to your prayer, the sunlight of a new day will let you know he cares. You know your life matters. There's someone who loves you. Your life is worth living if you do. Thank you so much. Two more.
Two more?
I think they like us.
Did you hold on to that?
Sure, yeah.
Tell them about it. We
It's
have
a-
made
it's a
3
song.
CDs since we've been together, 3 full-length CDs, and this is the title track off of our last one. Did you bring any with you, by the way?
I'm in trouble.
In trouble. That's all right. We sell them for $1,000 a piece anyway.
There we
so.
go. There we go.
It's called Heart on the Line.
Sometimes when the world's on fire, you're caught standing in the rain. You can see the lightning strike. You can feel the pain. Nothing that I can say or do will make you change your mind. Darling, you have left me here with my heart on the line, with my heart on the line. The first time I fell in love with you was the first time I saw your face. Ever since then I've been falling in love with you every night and day. Oh, now it seems that the love we shared is dying on the vine. Darling, you have left me here with my heart on the line, with my heart on the line. Don't let our love just fade away. Don't let the past bring us down. Oh, don't let our love begin to unwind with my heart on the line. Till the land and plant the seed, watch it green and grow. But honey, if you burn us down, you're gonna reap what you sow. All the lies, deception, and pain are driving me out of my mind. Darling, you have left me here with my heart on the line, with my heart on the line. Don't let our love just fade away. Don't let the past extend us now. Oh, don't let our love die on the vine. Oh, my heart's on the line. Don't let this love die. Oh, with my heart on the line. With my heart, with my heart, with my heart on the line. Oh, oh.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
They must really like us. We get to do one more. We're gonna blues it up a little bit.
Yeah, we like the blues.
We're gonna sass it up a bit too.
Oh, woman, don't treat me like a fool. You don't know how bad. No, you don't understand. I said, baby, I need you to know it's killing me, darling. Oh, 'cause I just wanna be your man. Be your man.
Well, listen, mister, you think you can just pull that on me? When I sit here waiting and you run around all night. Well, darling, you were sadly mistaken. 'Cause baby, I can make other plans. If you wanna be my man, oh, be my man.
Oh, baby, you know I'm sorry. I never meant to do you wrong.
Well, mister, if you lie to me again, baby, I'll be gone. I'll be gone. Oh, I'll be gone.
Well, baby, you know that I love you. And you know I can change, yeah. But I'm doing the best I can. 'Cause baby, I want you.
Oh, do you?
Yes. And baby, I need you.
Oh, then prove it.
Try to understand that I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just wanna be your man. I never meant to do you wrong.
Oh, well, mister, if you lie to me again, baby, I'll be gone. I'll be gone. Oh, I'll be gone.
Baby, I just want to be your man.
Well, then go on and be my man.
I said I just want to be your man.
Oh, then go on and be my man.
Baby, I just want to be your man.
Well, then go on and be my man.
Oh, baby,
Baby,
baby.
go on and be my man.
How's that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, thank you.
Steve Martin Atkinson, Michael Leisinger, the Shadowshaker Band, ladies and
All
gentlemen.
right. Watch for them out in the community, singing up a storm. And where can people find your CDs? Do you have them available online, or do you have them in a store locally?
We have all our songs online, so if anybody would like to do a little Google, you can find us, all 3 of our albums.
The Shadowshaker Band. ladies and
Shadowshaker
gentlemen.
Band.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
How about that? Well, we're going to continue on with our St. Patrick's Day show, Faith and Bigora, because we got the house band back up here. They got their green on, most of them.
Let's see, we got a quorum? Yeah, we got a quorum.
So let's hear it for the 1937 play.
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I walk for miles along the highway, well, that's just my way of saying I love you. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I stopped to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. And as the skies turned gloomy, night was whispered to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just hoping you may be somewhere. I'm walking after midnight, searching for me.
Hit it, Paul. Get it, girl.
I stopped to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. As the skies turned gloomy, night was whispered to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just hoping you may be somewhere. I'm walking after midnight, searching for me.
Michelle Lewis. Really a close one.
Now, you know the story behind that one, Charlie, don't
Okay,
you?
tell the story.
Well, the story behind that one is back in 1957, this young singer went on Arthur Gottfried's talent show, and she wanted to do a different song, and the producer said, no, do Walking After Midnight. And she's like, okay. the applausometer got hit so hard it froze. That's how much the audience liked it and voted for her. And 3 months later, that song was top of the hot country charts at number 2 and on the pop charts at number 12. So a little Walkin' After Midnight by Patsy Cline. How about another Irish tune,
let's do an
Charlie?
Irish tune. We
Another
learned this
little
from the late
Irish
Joe
tune.
Dobbs. I was telling Paul a little secret about this song, and since we're all friends, we'll tell you this secret too. Joe had been playing this song with us. You know, everybody know who Joe Dobbs was? Yeah. Joe is somewhere with us tonight. He's wherever we are, you know. And we started playing with Joe, some of us back in 1975, so we go back a long way. Matter of fact, one of the things that always cracked me up is toward the end of his 82 years, he'd say, I think I finally learned how to play this fiddle. Well, those of us who knew him 40 years ago were thinking he was pretty darn good then. But he learned this song called The Star of the County Down, a good Irish tune. And a fellow from Ireland came by and he says, you know, I've never heard anybody just play the harmony part like that.
Star of the County Down, keeping that Irish feeling flowing.
Doug Chapin, Paul Martin, Sam Kinsey.
And you'll be feeling good knowing that you are helping Contact, the Rape Crisis Center, by the proceeds at the door going to help Contact out. We've got a representative from Contact. We'd love to have her join us just to talk a little bit about Contact. Liz Deal, thank you for making time tonight to join us, Liz, with Contact. Well, you've got another spring fundraiser coming up here in a couple of weeks on April 7th. Hang on a minute. This storm hitting the tin roof is kind of overtaking us. But on April 7th, it's a Saturday, you've got a fundraiser going on.
That's right. 3 weeks from tonight, the Flood is going to be playing at our annual fundraiser. This is a major event that fills a huge gap that's left in our budget from our regular funding sources that are mostly federal and state grants. It's a small bites and wine appetizers, and we have a theme this year. We have a theme every year. This year's theme is the Southeast United States. So we're going to have food from Louisiana, we're going to have food from the Carolina Lowcountry, and we're going to have food from Appalachia. It's a fun menu, it's a fun night, and it really is a wonderful cause.
I'm excited to learn a little bit about what Contact does in the community. Here, I'm going to let you hold this, Liz.
Okay, thank you. So Contact is a rape crisis center, and we serve people who have experienced sexual assault or stalking in Cabell, Lincoln, Wayne, Mason, Mingo, and Logan. I think I got them all. There's 6 counties. We have the whole southwestern part of the state. In the past year, we served 500 victims of sexual assault and stalking. We serve people who are little people at the child advocacy centers, and we serve adults and teens and people all the way up. I think our oldest client recently was in her 70s, I think. So we serve men and women. And what does our service mean? It means we are a free and confidential source of information, emotional and practical support. We'll meet people at the hospital if they choose to go for medical care. We'll follow with them for as long as they want, to the police, to the court system, to counseling. We provide crisis counseling. We see ourselves as a bridge and a facilitator for folks. You were in this situation and you were alone. You don't have to be alone anymore. There's always somebody who's ready to help. We have a 24-hour hotline that is staffed by our volunteers and our paid staff. We have 13 staff members right now covering our 6 counties. We use about 25 volunteers as well to take calls on the phone and help people out as they need it.
Liz, I know that you also work closely with Marshall students.
That's right. We have one of our advocates is dedicated to working on our local campuses. She spends quite a bit of her time at Marshall, but also at MCTC and at the Huntington Junior Business College.
Gosh, we're so glad you came tonight, and we're so pleased you're going to have 37 Flood for your spring event in 3 weeks. And thank you to the crowd for being here tonight to help us help your work. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. We just want to thank you guys, and we want to thank Paul as well for thinking of us and for what you're doing tonight. Thank you.
All right. Oh. Now, Randy, you've been in the media business. You started as a DJ, you're an MC way back, in the news business as a reporter, going undercover and getting the word out. Now, all those years, you've seen it, and I bank to say you've probably seen it all. And I'm wondering if you could share a story or two with our crowd tonight and be our stand-in storyteller for Dave Payton.
I'd be glad to. And in fact, an old buddy of mine, Steve Hayes, if anybody remembers the Steve Hayes and Clint McElroy show back in the old days. Steve owns Portsmouth now, and he told me, he said, "Yo, you need to, when you name your book, I've seen it all." and so whenever I get time to write the darn book, that's exactly what I'll do. But I was thinking about St. Patrick's Day 30 years ago today. It would have been 1987. I was in Savannah, Georgia, working at the NBC affiliate there. I was a young fledgling reporter And if you're not familiar, Savannah has one of the biggest St. Patrick's Day parades in the country. I mean, it rivals the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. It runs for hours. It's bands. I mean, it's televised by the local NBC affiliate I was working for. I was going to be the roving reporter. Now, the host of the parade was going to be our weekend anchor, Jerry O'Loughlin. I mean, a very appropriate, red-headed guy. Well, about 5 days before the parade, Jerry got fired.
What?
I said, I mean, he'd been doing the parade for years. I said, what happened? Well, Jerry was a reporter and had to do a story on teenage smoking and went and got a couple packs of Marlboros and gave them out to the junior high kids and got good video. You know, you can't do that. And we don't ever quite understand why Jerry did that, but they said, yo, you're going to fill in and be the host. And by the way, you're going to co-host this with Willard Scott because we're bringing him down from the Today Show. And the rest of the story I'm not going to go into. But I'm going to go 20 years ago at St. Patrick's Day because I was here in Huntington and I took the life writing class with John Patrick Grace. And one of my classmates was a guy that I met and we became fast friends. His name was Joe Dobbs.
Yes, sir.
And the fiddle player was also a great writer. And in that class, we did some little stories back and forth, you know, and some people cranked out books. I mean, Carter Taylor Seton was in that class. I mean, some really good local writers were in that class, and I muddled along a little bit. But Joe and I would compare a couple of stories, and so this afternoon, I took a lot of dust off this old package of stories from 20 years ago that I wrote in that life writing class, and I'm going to give you a couple of them that Joe really liked. You know who got me to brush my teeth when I was just a little shaver? Not Mom, not Dad. It was Soupy Sales. He told me, be true to your teeth and they won't be false to you. As a grade schooler in suburban Detroit, I'd run home at the noon hour and watch Lunch with Soupy right there. If Soupy was having grilled cheese and tomato soup, I'd say, Mom, we're having grilled cheese and tomato soup. That is, if I couldn't stop laughing at White Fang and Blacktooth and go rat, 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 rat. Funny that 40 years later, I'd wind up living in Huntington, West Virginia, hometown of one Milton Supman, better known as Soupy Sales. West Virginia's own king of corn is now 75 and celebrating, now this is 20 years ago. West Virginia's own king of corn is now 75 and celebrating his 53rd year in show business. Soupy came back to Huntington every summer for his Huntington Ha-Ha. Anybody remember that? The Huntington Ha-Ha? It was a big show held in front of the Civic Arena on Soupy Sales Plaza. And it seems everybody has a funny, fond memory of Soupy. Maybe it was his hit song, The Mouse. Remember that? Hey, do the mouse, yeah. You could do it in your house, yeah. You got to be old. I'm telling you what. When Soupy wasn't co-hosting Mike Douglas or his own late-night show on ABC, he was a panelist on What's My Line and Password or I've Got a Secret. But Soupy's signature memory may be the 10,000 pies in the face that he received and delivered. A pie from Soupy was a badge of honor for stars like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and me. Yes, I got a pie from Soupy. I got pictures of it. Soupy caused a national uproar when he told kids to sneak in their parents' room and find those pieces of paper of men with beards on and send them to Soupy Sales. He got $80,000 in the mail and got suspended for 2 weeks. True story. In the past few years, the Soup Man has found the silver screen. He appeared in movies like Eddie Murphy's Holy Man, Palmer's Pickup, and Behind the Scenes. Soupy Sales is one of a kind and one of my heroes. And his Soupy Says sayings, and he did Soupy Says every day, still ring true. One of my favorites was, never buy a TV set from a man on the street who's out of breath. Those are words of wisdom. One other story that Joe liked a lot. What do they say? You can't load 10 pounds of... What do they say? You can't load 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag? When those pounding rains swell the creek up a mountain holler, the flash flooding that follows usually comes quicker than crap. The roaring current turns that once peaceful, meandering creek into a raging Class 5 whitewater holy terror. Old tires, washing machines, and milk crates become river racing flotsam and jetsam. The creek expands by football fields, either submerging or sucking up every home, car, doghouse, and outhouse in its path. Then, as often as just as quickly as it came and ravaged, the waters recede. But it's the day after that flash flood that brings out the battle between nature and humanity and heavy metal rock bands. I drove up this remote Floyd County, Kentucky holler the Sheriff's Department dispatcher claimed was the hardest hit. Turning off the 4-lane, nothing looked much different. Then around a curve and down a hill, past the ramshackle remains of what used to be a country store, 100 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. I began to roll by the familiar post-flash flood sites of all those piles, looking like tattered teepees in front of the homes still standing. Rolls of sopping and starting to stink carpet, chairs and couches and tables of all colors, all now stained a putrid brown. And all the decimated bric-a-brac, baby toys, toilets, TVs, pots and pans, stacked like fall cordwood ready for a fierce winter. Well, I stopped at a home where moms and dads and aunts and uncles, neighbor ladies with a smoke in one hand and a baby cradled in the other were either squeegeeing thick layers of mud out of their house or hosing down the four-wheeler. And in the midst of all this mud-cake chaos was a grandpa sitting on a milk stool in the front yard, looking older than the coal-laden hills all around him, taking it all in. I couldn't help but notice the grandpa's T-shirt, black with silver and white adornment, like the slash rock stuff that the goth kids wear. It was a Guns N' Roses T-shirt. A howling image of lead singer Axl Rose on the front and Welcome to the Jungle emblazoned across the back. I stopped in my tracks. I introduced myself to Grandpa and I said, "That's a heck of a shirt you have on there." He beamed with pride, drawing out, he goes, "You like it? My grandson gave it to me last weekend. Best shirt I ever had." I said, "So you're familiar with the band, huh?" Grandpa looked at me and pondered that one for a while. "What band?" he said, with the juice from his chaw of tobacco dribbling down his chin. "The band on your shirt," I said. He laughed and looked me right in the eye and he said, "I don't know what you're talking about, son. Bubby gave me this shirt because he knows my two favorites. I love guns and I love roses." I bit my lip so hard to hold back my laughter, it bled. And I'm serious. I went to work, I shot my story with Grandpa and his Guns N' Roses T-shirt making a prominent showing within the muddy mess. Thank you.
Our fill-in storyteller, yes, Randy Yohe. Woo! And we've got some more merriment for you on this fine St. Patrick's Day. Our mandolin guitar player over on the end, Paul Martin, we're going to turn the microphone over to you for just a moment.
Now, you had a sing-along earlier. This is a kind of a sing-along, too. You're going to have to help us with the animal husbandry.
And here's how it'll go, hopefully. When I mention an animal sound, you'll pull out the animal sound. Now, I know you do it at family reunions or wherever you can get by with it anyway, okay? So you can use it here tonight. So we'll try this and see how it goes.
Animal sound.
We had a chicken. That's better than usual.
I know.
Who would lay no eggs. We had a chicken. Who would lay no eggs. My wife said, "Honey, we're losing money because that chicken." Oh, it's getting better. Would lay no eggs. One day this rooster came into our yard, caught that chicken right off guard. We have eggs now, just like we used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a milk cow. No milk would she give. We had a milk cow. No milk would she give. My wife said, "Honey, we're losing money because that milk cow." No milk would she give. One day that rooster came into our yard, caught that milk cow right off guard. We have eggnog just like we used to, ever since that rooster rooster came into our yard. We had a bubblegum machine. Gotta think. A bubblegum machine. We had a bubblegum machine. No gum would it give. We had a bubblegum machine. No gum would it give. My wife said, honey, we're losing money because that bubblegum machine, no gum would it give. One day that rooster came into our yard, caught that bubblegum machine right off guard. We got chiclets just like we used to ever since that rooster came into our yard. Life is good now, just like it used to ever since that rooster came into our yard. We vote you guys the number one. That's the best we've heard so far.
Absolutely. We're all going to room together. Yeah, that's how we get that big grant money, you know. That's a science project right there.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I'll watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yeah, really.
Michelle Lewis in the 1937 Blood.
Now, we're trying to stay on time. You know, we had a little bit of a snafu earlier where we learned that Holly and the guy fell ill. And so we've got a friend out in the crowd that is going to help fill a couple of tunes for us. And if he's available next month, he may be a return guest artist for us. I hope that you'll know this name. And welcome to the stage, Rob McNurlin.
Rob McNurlin, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, you're either going to see him playing with his buddy Marty Stewart some big stage in Nashville or at a country church somewhere out in Boyd County or anywhere in between. My friend, Rob McNurlin.
But you go play.
This is your level. I'll let you adjust it to yours. I always jokingly say that I'll play at the drop of a hat and I'll drop the hat. You didn't have to do that today, did I?
Let's do it tonight.
Check 1, 2. Here's my second favorite song by my first favorite songwriter. I'll get situated about the time this is over with. Well, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It'll never do anyhow. When your rooster's a crowing at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. Well, it ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. That light that I never know. It ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. I'm thinking and wondering as I'm walking down the road. I once loved a woman, a child, I'm told. I give her my heart, she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. Well, it ain't no use
use in calling out my name, gal, like you never done before. And it ain't no use in calling out my name, gal, 'cause I can't hear you anymore. I wish there was something you could do or say to try and make me change my mind instead. But we never did too much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's alright. Now so long, honey babe, where I'm bound I can't tell, and goodbye is too good a word, gal, so I'll just say fare thee well. Now I ain't a-saying you treated me unkind, you could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted all of my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright.
What a great band, huh? Thank y'all. Yeah, they mentioned me being here next month. We're just waiting to get all the stuff on the tour rider and all that worked out.
What color M&Ms, that kind of thing?
My backstage demands.
Yes, sir. What kind of pickles?
What's that?
What kind of pickles did you want?
You could probably turn this down just a little bit, Paul. Yeah, because I'm going to really stop finger picking now and start hitting it really hard with this pick. But I'm going to do an old Jimmy Rogers song now that I may have done the first time we ever met each other. My dad raises horses and mules over in East Kentucky, and I don't know how come you picked Dad out to do some kind of news thing on his mules or something, but I just remember we were all down at the barn, and you said, go get your guitar, and so, and I did, because there again, you know, I dropped the hat if I have to, and so we used a little bit of this on whatever the news, that's been a long time ago. 20 years? Oh, at least. But it goes something like this, and it's in the key of G, if I can sing that high tonight. We'll see. It's all an experiment, you know. This part of the show you didn't pay for, so. Good morning, Captain. Good morning to you, Shine. Do you need another mule skinner down on your new mud line? Good Dad was selling a lot of mules to Mr. Porter out in Grayson, Kentucky.
pretty much if the mule was breathing, Mr. Porter would buy it. And Dad finally asked him, "What are you doing with all these mules?" And he said he was shipping them down to Nashville, and they were putting them on a plane and shipping them over to Afghanistan. And the Afghan rebels, who we were backing at the time, was using these Kentucky mules to haul their rocket launchers and ammunition on. You know, back then you just had half-hour news there the evening, you know. And so we got to watching the 6 o'clock news to see if we could see any of our mules on TV. So I'd like to dedicate the rest of this song, the Mule Skinner Blues, to all those good mules that gave their lives. Every word I say, your love, thank you. I think I got time for one more, maybe. And do no Carter family song. It's in the same key with all the same 3 chords.
Okay.
I think Paul said one time, all the songs I play are pretty much the same song. And I took that as a compliment. I work really hard at not working for a living. And but this is an old Carter family song, and I always like to end with a gospel song, but this is, some people call this a gospel song, some people don't. And it will probably offend most everybody here by the time it's over with. And let the church roll on, let the church roll on, let the church roll on, let the church roll on. There's a drunkard in the church, and he don't do right. What you gonna do? Take his liquor and pour it out and let the church roll on. Let the church roll on, my Lord. Let the church roll on, oh my Lord. Let the church roll on. Let the church roll on. There's a deacon in the church, and he don't do right. What you gonna do? Take his name off the book and let the church roll on. Let the church roll on. Let the church roll on, my Lord. Let the church roll on. Let the church roll on. There's a preacher in the church, and he don't do right. What you gonna do? Kick him out, and let the church roll on. Let the church roll on. Let the church roll on, my Lord. Let the church roll on. Let the church roll on. There's women in the church, got paint on their face. What you gonna do? Take a rag and wash it off and let the church roll on. Let the church roll on, my Lord. Let the church roll on, oh my Lord. Let the church roll on. 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 go. See you in a few weeks, I hope. Thank you.
Rob McNurlin, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for helping us out this evening. We're going to stay on time. Got a couple more songs for you. Again, thank you for coming out to support Contact, the Rape Crisis Center. And we've got another Irish tune, as it were, for you this evening.
I love mules. I always have. I've got more stories on mules, I think, than any other animal. And I remember that story with Rob's dad 20 years ago. I mean, I did a story about a guy that got a DUI on a mule out in Olive Hill. I love mules.
Don't get much more Irish than William Butler Yeats. He wrote these words about 100 years ago. Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I could meet. She passed the Sally Garden on little snow white feet. She bade me take life easy as the grass grows under the trees. Ah, but I was young and foolish, no use to talk to me. In the fields of the river, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden on little snow white feet. She bade me take life easy as the grass grows on the ways. Ah, but I was young and foolish, and now I'm so full of tears. Do it, Doug. Tell it, Sam. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
How about this St. Patrick's Day show, ladies and gentlemen? Is this the best thing, the best live music activity, the most intimate, the most fun? Oh my God. I'm telling you. We'd like to thank everybody that played tonight. We'd like to thank Eve, Markham Atkinson, and Mike Lazinga, and the Shadowshaker Band was here for me. Wonderful. Rob McNurlin, without a secret. will bring in on a meal, I guarantee it. The 1937 Flood, ladies and gentlemen, your house band, with Charlie and Doug and Michelle and Randy, Paul and Slappy Lincoln. We'd just like to thank everybody that's helped out the Contact Crisis Center. They do fantastic work throughout. Just keep an eye on them. Make sure you look back on Facebook and on our website, Route60SaturdayNight.com. Tell your friends about it. Share our fun St. Patrick's Day show. Get on home and share it all. Thanks, Paul Callicoat, wherever you are, for everything that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, please drive home safely on this St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget to buckle up those seatbelts. We love you all. Good night.
And thank you, Randy Yohe, our co-host and our fill-in storyteller.
Thank you.